The sharp crack of the slap echoed through the upscale Manhattan restaurant like a thunderclap, turning heads and freezing conversations mid-sentence. Jordan Harrington, the golden boy of New York's elite, stood there with his palms still tingling, his face twisted in feigned rage as he glared at the young waiter who'd just spilled a glass of water on his lap. But deep down, Jordan knew the truth. It wasn't the spill that ignited his fury. It was the electric jolt he felt when their eyes met, a forbidden spark that threatened to unravel his carefully constructed world. Leonard Rivera staggered back a step, his cheek burning red under the elegant chandeliers of La Belle Epoque. At 25, he'd endured worse than a rich kid's tantrum. Homophobic slurs in high school, rejection from his conservative family after coming out. But this felt personal, laced with something unspoken. As the manager rushed over, apologizing profusely to Jordan and firing Leonard on the spot, the young waiter locked eyes with his assailant one last time, seeing not just arrogance, but a flicker of regret, maybe even fear. Little did Leonard know, that moment would propel him into the heart of the Harrington family's gilded cage, where secrets festered like wounds never allowed to heal. Jordan stormed out of the restaurant, his heart pounding not from anger, but from panic. As the heir to Harrington Enterprises, a multi-billion-dollar tech empire built by his father, Victor Harrington, he was expected to embody perfection. Straight-A student at Yale, future CEO, and soon-to-be husband to some socialite handpicked by his parents. But Jordan had always known he was different. In college, he'd stolen kisses in shadowed dorm rooms with guys who understood the thrill of secrecy. Now, at 27, those urges were buried under layers of denial, enforced by his father's ironclad expectations. No room for weakness in this family, Victor would say, his voice like steel. The spill had been an accident, but Leonard's warm brown eyes and easy smile had stirred something Jordan couldn't control. A momentary lapse that demanded overcompensation. Leonard trudged home to his cramped apartment in Brooklyn, the sting on his face matching the ache in his chest. Losing the job meant scraping by on freelance gigs again. But worse was the humiliation. Why had Jordan reacted so violently? A quick Google search on his phone revealed the Harrington name splashed across headlines. Victor's vision. Building the future of AI. Harrington heir poised for takeover. But digging deeper, Leonard found forums buzzing with rumors. Whispers of Victor's ruthless business tactics, lawsuits buried under NDAs, and vague hints at personal scandals. Intrigued, Leonard decided he wouldn't let this slide. He'd confront Jordan, demand an apology, maybe even expose the incident on social media. What started as a quest for justice would soon unearth truths that challenged everything Jordan held dear. The next day, Leonard staked out the Harrington Tower in Midtown, a gleaming skyscraper symbolizing the family's untouchable status. Dressed in his best jeans and a button-up, he waited until Jordan emerged for lunch. "Hey!" Leonard called out, stepping into his path. Jordan froze, his designer suit suddenly feeling like armor. "What do you want?" he snapped, but his voice wavered. Leonard held up his phone, showing a photo of his bruised cheek. "An apology, or this goes viral." Jordan's eyes darted around, spotting passers-by with phones out. He couldn't risk a scene. "Fine, let's talk." "Not here." They ended up in a nearby coffee shop, the kind with overpriced lattes and anonymous crowds. Jordan ordered for both, a peace offering of sorts. As they sat, the tension crackled. "I'm sorry," Jordan muttered, avoiding eye contact. "It was a bad day." Leonard leaned in. "Bad day? You slapped me like I was nothing. Because I'm gay? Or because you're afraid of something?" Jordan's head snapped up, shock etching his features. How did he know? Leonard had pieced it together from the way Jordan had lingered on him before the slap, the unspoken pull. "I saw it in your eyes," Leonard said softly. "You're like me, aren't you? Hiding." Jordan denied it vehemently, but the seed was planted. Over the next weeks, their meetings became clandestine, coffee turning to walks in Central Park, then late-night texts. Leonard shared his story. Growing up in a Latino family in Queens, coming out at 18, the painful rift with his parents who clung to traditional values. "They think it's a phase or worse, a sin," he confessed. Jordan listened, envy mixing with attraction. His own life was a facade. Family dinners where his mother, Elena, pushed eligible women his way, and Victor's lectures on legacy. But with Leonard, Jordan felt seen, not as the heir, but as himself. Their bond deepened amid New York's bustling energy. Leonard introduced Jordan to underground LGBTQ events, drag shows in the village where anonymity reigned. Jordan hesitated at first, but the freedom was intoxicating. One night, under the neon lights of a pride-friendly bar, they shared their first real conversation about identity. "My dad would disown me," Jordan admitted, voice low. "He's built this empire on family values. Straight, nuclear, American dream BS." Leonard nodded, understanding the weight. But living a lie? That's worse. As feelings blossomed, conflicts arose. Jordan's friends, a circle of privileged bros, noticed his distractions. "Who's the mystery person?" they tease, assuming it was a girl. At home, Victor grew suspicious of Jordan's late nights. "Focus on the business, son. No distractions." Leonard, meanwhile, faced backlash from his own community. Friends warning him about getting involved with a closeted rich guy. "He's using you," one said. "When push comes to shove, he'll choose his money." But the real storm brewed when Leonard stumbled upon an old article during a deeper online dive. Buried in archived forums was a mention of Victor Harrington's college days. A hushed scandal involving a male roommate who vanished after accusations of impropriety. Was it a cover-up? Leonard's curiosity piqued. He began investigating, unaware he was peeling back layers of a family secret that could destroy everything. Jordan's phone buzzed incessantly as he paced his penthouse apartment overlooking the Hudson. It was Leonard, texting about their next meetup. But guilt gnawed at him. Last night, after a stolen moment in a quiet alley, nothing more than a brush of hands and whispered promises, Jordan had panicked and ghosted. "This can't happen," he muttered to himself. His reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows showed a man torn. Polished exterior, fractured inside. Victor had called a family meeting that morning, announcing Jordan's engagement to Sophia Langford, daughter of a rival tech mogul. "It's strategic," Victor said, clapping him on the back. "Secures our future." Jordan nodded numbly, the weight of expectation crushing any spark of rebellion. Leonard, sensing the distance, decided to push. He showed up at Harrington Tower again, this time slipping past security with a fabricated delivery excuse. Confronting Jordan in his office, the air thickened with unspoken words. "What's going on?" Leonard demanded. Jordan glanced at the door, paranoia setting in. "You can't be here. My father's downstairs." But Leonard wouldn't budge. "Are you ashamed of me? Of us?" The word "us" hung heavy, forcing Jordan to confront the budding romance. "It's not that simple," he whispered. "My family, they don't know." Leonard's eyes softened. "Then tell them, or at least stop hiding." Their argument spilled into the evening, ending in a tense truce. Jordan agreed to dinner at Leonard's place, a modest setup with mismatched furniture and walls adorned with pride flags. Over homemade tacos, Leonard opened up more. "After my family kicked me out, I couch-surfed for months. Worked 3 jobs to afford community college." Jordan admired his resilience, contrasting it with his own silver spoon life. "I've never had to fight for anything," he admitted. "Except this." Their hands touched across the table, a silent vow to navigate the chaos together. But society's claws dug in. Word of the slap had leaked online, anonymous posts painting Jordan as a homophobic bully. "Billionaire brat assaults gay waiter," one headline screamed on a gossip blog. Victor's PR team scrambled, but Jordan felt the noose tighten. At a charity gala, Sophia on his arm, he spotted Leonard serving drinks. Back in the game with a new job. Their eyes met across the room, a mix of longing and jealousy. Later, in a secluded balcony, Jordan pulled Leonard aside. "I can't do this engagement," he confessed. "But ending it means war with my dad." Leonard urged him, "Choose yourself, Jordan." The investigation Leonard had started bore fruit. Digging through public records, he found a sealed court document from the 1990s. Victor Harrington sued for harassment by a former intern, a young man named Michael Torres. The case was dropped, but rumors suggested a payoff. Leonard confronted Jordan about it over coffee. "Your dad might have a history like yours, hidden." Jordan recoiled. "That's impossible. He's the epitome of straight-laced." But doubt crept in, fueling Jordan's internal turmoil. Family pressures mounted. Elena, Jordan's mother, noticed his unease. "What's bothering you, darling?" she asked during a lunch at their Hamptons estate. Jordan hesitated, then blurted, "I'm gay, Mom." Tears welled in her eyes, not from shock, but recognition. "I suspected," she whispered. "But your father, he won't understand." She revealed fragments. Victor's strict upbringing, his own father's abandonment after a scandal. "He fears weakness." Jordan felt a surge of hope, but Victor overheard, storming in. "What nonsense is this?" he bellowed. "No son of mine is that." The argument escalated, Victor disowning Jordan on the spot, cutting off his access to funds. Leonard became Jordan's anchor, offering his couch and emotional support. "We'll figure it out," Leonard said, holding him through the night. But societal backlash intensified. Jordan's coming out leaked to the press, twisted into a narrative of rebellion against his father's empire. Protests erupted outside Harrington Tower, LGBTQ activists praising Jordan, conservatives decrying the fall of family values. Leonard faced scrutiny too. His past jobs scrutinized, old flames resurfacing with jealousy. "You're dating a Harrington? Sellout," a friend accused. The plot thickened when Leonard received an anonymous email. Scanned letters from Michael Torres, detailing Victor's alleged affair in college, covered up to protect the family name. "Your dad's darkest secret," the email read. Leonard showed Jordan, who grappled with betrayal. "If this is true, he's been lying his whole life." They debated exposing it, justice versus family loyalty. Jordan wavered, torn between love for Leonard and residual ties to his father as tensions peaked. Victor summoned Jordan home. "We need to talk," he said gruffly. In the opulent study, Victor admitted partial truth. "Michael was a friend. Things got complicated, but it was mutual. I paid him to stay quiet, for his sake too." Jordan pressed, "Were you in love?" Victor's facade cracked. "Maybe, but society wasn't ready. I chose the path that led here." The revelation humanized Victor, but didn't excuse his hypocrisy. Jordan left, conflicted, sharing it with Leonard. "He's just like me, scared." Their relationship faced its first major test. Leonard pushed for transparency, exposed the hypocrisy, could help others. Jordan resisted. "He's my dad. Destroying him destroys me." The argument highlighted their differences. Leonard's fight for visibility versus Jordan's ingrained caution. In a heated moment, Leonard stormed out, leaving Jordan alone with his choices. Reconciliation came slowly. Jordan reached out to Leonard via a heartfelt voicemail, admitting his fears. "I need you," he said. Leonard relented, meeting him at their favorite bench in Central Park. Under the autumn leaves, they talked for hours. "I get it," Leonard said. "Family's complicated, but hiding perpetuates the pain." Jordan nodded, vowing to bridge the gap. He began therapy, unpacking years of suppression, while Leonard supported him, sharing resources from LGBTQ centers. The media frenzy amplified social conflicts. Tabloids dubbed Jordan the rebel heir, pitting him against Victor's traditional empire. Interviews flooded in. Jordan declined most, but one with a progressive outlet allowed him to speak. "I'm gay, and I'm proud," he declared, crediting Leonard indirectly. Backlash followed, boycotts from conservative investors, hate mail targeting Leonard. "Faggot enabler," one letter read, shaking Leonard's resolve. His family, hearing the news, reached out tentatively. "We saw you on TV," his mother said in a call. "Is he treating you right?" It was a small olive branch, but meaningful. Victor's secret loomed larger. Leonard, with Jordan's reluctant permission, dug deeper. Contacting Michael Torres via social media, He arranged a discreet meeting in a quiet Brooklyn cafe. Michael, now in his 50s, shared his story. Victor and I were lovers in college, but when his family found out, they threatened me. I took the money and ran. Proof emerged, old photos, letters. He chose power over love, Michael sighed. Leonard recorded it subtly, weighing the ethics. Jordan confronted Victor again, armed with evidence. You hypocrite, he accused. Victor deflated. I did what I had to. Times were different. But Jordan saw the parallels. And now you're doing it to me. The exchange sparked change. Victor agreed to therapy, slowly accepting Jordan's identity. At a family dinner, he met Leonard awkwardly. So you're the one, Victor grumbled. Leonard held his ground. Yes, and I love your son. The word love hung, solidifying their bond. Societal ripples spread. Jordan's coming out inspired others in elite circles, closeted executives reaching out for advice. But controversies arose. Accusations that Jordan's privilege made his story easy, ignoring Leonard's struggles. Online debates raged. Is Jordan a hero or just another rich kid playing victim? Leonard faced his own demons. Jealousy over Jordan's lingering ties to wealth. You could go back any time, he argued during a fight. Jordan reassured him. I choose you. Their romance deepened amid New York seasons. Winter brought cozy nights in, sharing dreams. Leonard's aspiration to open a community center. Jordan's desire to reform Harrington Enterprises toward inclusivity. Spring saw them at Pride, Jordan's first public display, hand in hand. But threats emerged. A stalker from Victor's past, emboldened by the publicity, harassing Leonard. Stay away from the Harringtons, anonymous texts warned. Police involvement heightened drama, testing their trust. The climax built when Michael went public, prompted by Leonard's encouragement. An exposé article hit the stands. Billionaire's hidden past. Love, lies, and legacy. Victor's stock plummeted. Board members calling for resignation. Jordan felt torn. Guilt over the fallout, anger at the betrayal. You pushed for this? He accused Leonard. Leonard defended. It's about truth. For all of us. The rift grew, Jordan retreating to the family estate. Leonard left wondering if love could survive the wreckage. Victor, facing ruin, called a press conference. I was wrong, he admitted tearfully. I hid who I was and hurt my son in the process. Harrington Enterprises will champion LGBTQ rights. The turnaround was stunning, stocks rebounding. Jordan watched from afar, pride mixing with resentment. He returned to Leonard, apologizing. You were right. Change needed forcing. They reconciled passionately, vowing transparency. But underlying tensions simmered. Leonard's friends questioned the power dynamic. He's still rich. You're the heroic waiter. Jordan's circle whispered about Leonard being a gold digger. Societal divides highlighted class, race, privilege. In a quiet moment, Leonard asked, Do you regret any of it? Jordan smiled. Only not meeting you sooner. As the dust settled, new challenges arose. Victor's health declined under stress, forcing Jordan to step up in the business. Balancing love and legacy, he proposed reforms. Diversity initiatives, partnerships with LGBTQ orgs. Leonard supported but felt sidelined. This is your world, he said. Jordan pulled him in. It's ours now. The story's core conflict, personal truth versus familial duty, reached a boiling point when an old flame of Jordan's resurfaced. A college hookup threatening to expose more secrets. We had something real, the man claimed in a tabloid. Leonard doubted. Was I just a rebound? Jordan denied, but the seed of insecurity grew, leading to their biggest fight yet. Trust fractured. Leonard distanced himself, crashing with friends. Jordan bombarded him with calls, pleading for understanding. That was the past, he insisted. Eventually, Leonard agreed to meet at their Central Park bench. Tears flowed as they hashed it out. I need to know I'm enough, Leonard said. Jordan took his hand. You are everything. The reconciliation strengthened them, turning vulnerability into unbreakable bond. Societal scrutiny intensified. A documentary crew approached, wanting to chronicle the Harrington redemption. Jordan hesitated, but Leonard encouraged, "Share our story. Could help others." Filming exposed raw emotions. Interviews with Victor admitting regrets, Elena supporting quietly, even Leonard's family making amends. But controversy brewed. Critics called it privilege porn, arguing real LGBTQ struggles were overshadowed by wealth. Protests at premieres highlighted divides. Not all gays are billionaires. Jordan faced internal board battles at Harrington Enterprises. Conservative members pushed back on inclusivity policies. "This is business, not activism," one snarled. Jordan stood firm. "It's both." With Leonard's input, they launched a foundation aiding queer youth from low-income backgrounds, bridging their worlds. Leonard thrived, leading workshops, his confidence soaring. The darkest secret fully unraveled when Michael's full archive surfaced. Not just an affair, but Victor's involvement in suppressing other stories to protect his image. A class action lawsuit loomed, former employees alleging discrimination. Victor stepped down, handing reins to Jordan. "Make it better," he urged. Jordan, with Leonard by his side, vowed to. Their relationship evolved into partnership. Summer weekends in the Hamptons, once symbols of exclusion, became inclusive gatherings with diverse friends. Leonard's community-centered dream materialized, funded by the foundation. "This is for kids like me," he said at the opening, Jordan beaming proudly. But personal trials persisted. Leonard's health scare, a minor but frightening illness, tested Jordan's commitment. Rushing to the hospital, Jordan realized life's fragility. "Marry me," he proposed impulsively. Leonard laughed through tears. "In a hospital? Romantic." But he accepted, their engagement symbolizing triumph over adversity. Society's response was mixed. Congratulations poured in, but so did vitriol. Death threats from extremists, online harassment. They hired security, but it strained their normalcy. "Is this worth it?" Leonard wondered. Jordan affirmed, "You are." The wedding planning amplified conflicts. Victor offered to host extravagantly. Leonard preferred intimate. Compromises forged, reflecting their growth. Invites went to Michael, closing circles. At the rehearsal, Victor pulled Jordan aside. "I'm proud. I was wrong." Tears mended old wounds as high noon approached. A final twist. A leaked document suggesting Victor's payoffs included hush money for more than affairs, perhaps corporate espionage tied to personal vendettas. Jordan debated burying it, but Leonard insisted, "Truth sets us free." They exposed it internally, leading to reforms. The ceremony, in a sunlit garden, was poignant. Vows exchanged. "In secrets and light, I choose you." Guests cheered, but undercurrents of debate lingered. Media questioning if privilege tainted their fairy tale. Post-honeymoon, they settled into life. Jordan led the company ethically, Leonard ran the center. But echoes of the past haunted. Anonymous tips hinting at more secrets. "Is it ever over?" Jordan asked. Leonard smiled. "We face it together." Their story sparked national conversations on identity, class, and forgiveness. Books, podcasts dissected it. But for them, it was simple. Love won. The narrative's arc, from slap to union, underscored choices' power. Conflicts, societal prejudice, familial hypocrisy, personal doubts, wove a tapestry of drama. In the end, growth triumphed. Word count, 612. Wait, this seems short. Let me extend logically to reach 1,000. Extending. As years passed, their influence grew. Jordan testified before Congress on LGBTQ rights in business, drawing from personal pain. Leonard authored a memoir, From Slap to Solidarity, becoming a voice for the marginalized. Controversies continued. Accusations of nepotism in the foundation, debates on whether Victor's redemption was genuine. Forgiveness or whitewash? Forums argued. But in quiet moments, they reflected. That slap changed everything, Leonard mused. Jordan agreed. For the better, their love, forged in fire, endured. The Harrington-Rivera household buzzed with purpose. Adopted twins, a boy and girl from foster care, filled their Brooklyn brownstone with laughter, a deliberate choice to ground their privilege. Jordan balanced CEO duties with fatherhood, while Leonard expanded the community center into a network. Victor, in retirement, volunteered there, atoning through action. Elena doted on the grandkids, her acceptance complete. But shadows lingered. A new scandal erupted. Leaked emails showing Victor's past donations to anti-LGBTQ groups. Protests reignited, targeting Jordan. Like father, like son? Signs read. Jordan addressed it publicly. I reject that legacy. We're building anew. Leonard stood beside him, their unity a beacon. Societal debates raged. Talk shows dissected. Can a family redeem itself? Experts clashed, some praising transformation, others decrying it as performative. Online, trolls attacked Leonard's background, immigrant opportunist. He countered with grace, hosting panels on intersectionality. Their marriage faced strains. Jordan's long hours sparked arguments. You're slipping back into that world, Leonard accused. Therapy helped, reinforcing communication. A vacation to Hawaii reset them, reaffirming vows. Intimate moments revealed depths. I never thought I'd have this, Jordan confessed, watching the kids play. Leonard smiled. We fought for it. Their story inspired legislation, corporate mandates for diversity training, influenced by Jordan's advocacy. But backlash from conservative lobbies threatened rollbacks. Jordan lobbied tirelessly, Leonard mobilizing grassroots. The ultimate test came when a distant relative challenged Victor's will, unearthing more secrets. An illegitimate child from Victor's college affair with Michael. The half-sibling, now adult, sought connection. Jordan welcomed them, expanding the family. No more hiding, he declared. Leonard's family fully reconciled, attending holidays, cultural fusions, Latino traditions blending with Harrington formality, enriched life. Yet, external pressures persisted. Paparazzi intrusions, security concerns. As the narrative closed, peace settled. Reflecting on the journey, from that fateful slap to a life of authenticity, they marveled at resilience. Conflicts had sharpened them, choices defined them. In the end, was Victor's hypocrisy justifiable given the era's constraints?